Daily Blast Live. We're talking about what you're talking about.
It's because everyone's talking about this.
Always live, always real, always unpredictable.
I think that's taking it to another level.
Yeah. Log on and join our live conversation.
He said this as we were coming on TV.
DBL starts right now.
3, 2. Welcome to Daily Blast Live. It's Wednesday, August 28th. I'm here with Eric and Brandon. I'm Jeff. Let's get started, guys. Full House actress Lori Loughlin and her husband are back in LA tonight, and word on the street is they were all smiles when they got off their private jet. Yesterday, they presented a united front at their hearing across the country in Boston, and they were allowed to keep the law firm representing them despite questions about conflicts of interest. The couple's lawyer claimed they made the checks as legitimate donations to a non-profit, and there were not bribes. Are you giggling at that guy falling down?
The guy falling, absolutely.
That's it never gets old. Never gets old.
Jeff, we've said it from the beginning. They're not going to get in trouble. Meaning they're not going. All those people out there who think that they're going to serve some sort of significant prison time, I don't think that's going to happen. There's a reason why they're acting the way they're acting. There's a reason why they're keeping a united front. It's because we don't know something that. They know something that we don't know, and I just feel as though this is going to be another blow as social injustice to people, especially when it comes to education.
Yeah, I see the same things, but I see it differently. I think they don't know, and when you don't know something, the best thing to do is hunker down with consistency. At least they're, having a united front because they're their only two supports, because you have to have equal skin in the game sometimes in order to really feel what somebody else is feeling. But this looks like a totally different Lori and Maximo than we saw some months back, for sure.
Okay.
Yeah, and you know what? A lot of people are commenting on them smiling, getting off their jet like there's not a problem. Jason on Facebook wrote in, try to get off a private jet and not be smiling. Good point, Jason.
Excellent point, Jason.
But Erica, you don't think with them facing, her being Aunt Becky, and probably never gone through what we've had, regular people have had to gone through in life, her facing 20 years, you don't think that if she thought that there's a possibility that she could do a day, she wouldn't have cracked already? 20 years is a lot. That would scare anybody.
Here's the thing. Even if she hadn't taken a plea, it's completely common for people to have to wait a long time in the legal system. It's mainly that has to do with getting your affairs in order. I don't think they know what's coming, but I think they're trying to manage it, and that's all they can do.
Well, we'll be following it, that's for sure. A star from the popular ABC show Shark Tank was involved in a deadly boat crash. Let's get up to Raquel Villanueva with news at the moment.
Well, Jeff, 2 people have died in an accident involving Kevin O'Leary. Right now, the Shark Tank star is cooperating with police, and he says the crash happened over the weekend at a lake in Canada. TMZ reports Kevin's wife was driving at the time of the crash. They insist the other boat did not have its navigation lights on. Now, no charges have been filed yet in this case, but I'll keep you updated on this investigation.
Thanks, Raquel.
And I just looked on TMZ.com right before we came up here, and Kevin says that there is a video that will exonerate him and his wife, and they say that they gave the wife a DUI test and she passed. So
a DUI test or a breathalyzer?
A breathalyzer.
Oh, okay, I was wondering.
DUI, boating while, what's it called? Boating while under the beach or something, BUI or something?
Yeah,
like
it's still a DUI.
DWI?
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know. Whatever.
Yeah, but I think, these things happen all the time. It's not until it's someone who's famous that's involved, but it's important, especially around this time of the year. If you're going to places that are full of lakes, or maybe you're doing things like, what is it called with the snow?
Jet skis, yeah.
Or a snow.
Snowmobile.
Yeah. You don't live there. You don't normally do that on a daily basis, so you have to exercise extra precaution, and it's not fair to the people who live there either, who do exercise a little bit extra precaution. So during this time of the year especially, just be more careful.
Very important, very important. All right, guys, Dave Chappelle is slamming America's so-called cancel culture. In his new Netflix special, he jokes it's the worst time ever to be a celebrity and everyone's doomed. He also called out Michael Jackson's accusers. Let's watch.
I'm going to say something that I'm not allowed to say. But I got to be real. I don't believe these. I do not believe it.
And one of those accusers, Wade Robeson, tells TMZ Chappelle and Netflix are disgusting, irresponsible, and inexcusable for doubting the allegations.
Well, Dave Chappelle's nothing if he isn't consistent. And I am a little perturbed with people who are saying it's the most politically incorrect and offensive Dave Chappelle show.
Of all time.
Of all time.
Yeah.
Like, just pump your brakes, okay? Because keep in mind, if that's the case, then you think it was completely okay to make victims of R. Kelly the punchline, but just not people that he talks about in this special, which means there's a hierarchy for who can be the butt of the jokes. That means some people matter more than others. I'm not down with that. Either you're a fan of comedy and you're a fan of Dave Chappelle and his style, which has been very consistent to the point that he walked away from tens of millions of dollars because he felt like people were laughing at him, not with him. So there is an integrity to his comedy. There is an integrity to his set. And if people want to make it about being offended by what he said this time, then it tells me that you only value certain people, not others.
And Erica, he speaks on that during the stand-up because he talks about how when he got called into the offices of Comedy Central, and I won't ruin it for you, no spoiler alert, but he basically says that, you know, they kind of reprimanded him and they wanted him to stop using the derogatory F word when it comes to people of LGBTQ. And, you know, he had the conversation with the lady, and then he said he's like walking out, and then he thinks, and he goes back and says to her, so it's okay for me to say the N-word as many times as I say it, but I can't say that F word. And that's what he speaks on. So I understand that people are reading the blogs and they're showing transcripts for some of the things that he says. And you're like, I'm so appalled that he would say that. You have to watch the stand-up. And you have to take your non-PC pill when you watch the stand-up and understand the context and what he is telling these jokes. And for people like me who are on TV who are tired of having to be PC all the time,
right.
I sat there and before I watched it, I go, dear Lord, I don't believe in a lot of the things he's probably going to say right now, and I'm all about progression, but I want to laugh. And I laughed at a lot of the stuff that he said, and I don't feel bad about it. And I think a lot of people out there need to watch this and are going to have a good time with this. And just make sure you're progressive and you're not key-hee-heeing to people who feel marginalized after this. But have an hour worth of jokes. Dave Chappelle did a great job with this.
Yeah, and I just think it's ironic just how you mentioned political correctness, how far the pendulum has swung.
Yeah.
And he's pushing back against that. Calling it cancel culture is exactly what he's doing.
Yeah, right.
You know what I mean? It's like, it's kind of like, it's ironic that he's doing
right
it.
into it.
Yeah, he walked right into it. So I think it's, in a way, brilliant, even though you might not agree with it.
Exactly.
Absolutely. All right, Glamour is all about body positivity. In its latest issue, the magazine unveiled its new list of supers. The 5 women on the cover are described as powerful, ambitious, and beautiful, and they're all a size 12 or above. The group includes immigrants and mixed-race models from all over the world. And meantime, Lizzo is also talking to Glamour. She says she doesn't think it's brave of her to show some skin just because she's plus size. She says just being her, she's just being sexy, so there is a double standard there.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I feel like a broken record saying this, but it's not about the hierarchy of when it comes to your body type or when it comes to your skin or when it comes to your hair. It's about the idea that certain images weren't even shown, so it wasn't even an option on the table. But the bravery thing, I can completely understand because I can't tell you how many times people have told me, black women included, that I'm brave for wearing my natural hair. It's funny in one respect, but it's also very sad because it's like, this is what naturally comes out of my head. This is what I'm intended to look like. So it's not brave. It's me being very comfortable with who I am and expressing myself the way that I am, not having to cover it. So that's what they're doing as well.
Yeah, I think there are a lot of people who don't understand what you're talking about when you're saying that it's not you being brave and that there have been black women that come up to you. So can you kind of tell them why, in the sense that you don't feel like it's being brave going natural?
Well, it's not brave for me because I wanted to wake up every morning and know that people couldn't strip things away from me to make me less less accepted. So this was a way for me to own my power and own my feeling that this is how I feel the most beautiful, even through transition. But when women say that, I understand it because there's a context behind it in terms of black women are still losing their jobs for showing their natural hair. There is not the acceptance. And so for me to feel like I am going to have job security, that I don't feel any differently about myself, in fact, I feel better. I can understand why people say it's brave, but it's not brave. It's just a place that we needed to get to, and it's a place that I'm happy to be in.
Do you feel like that's almost disrespectful? Not, maybe that's a strong word in some sort of way to say that to Lizzo, to say that to you. Like, that's brave.
No, I think it really, I see where the disrespect feeling can come in, but I think it is some people just being very honest that they've never felt supported or felt free to be a certain size and wear certain clothing, because you always hear that, oh, well, you know, you should dress for your size. And it's like, well, what does that mean? You should dress for how you want to present yourself in the way that's most authentic and liberating to you. So that could be your body, that could be your skin, that could be your hair, it could be any of those things. So I can understand her not thinking it's brave, but I also understand a lot of people do.
Good conversation. I like that. All right, guys. BH star, I hate saying that. Beverly Hills 90210 star Jenny Garth says she had to leave her husband to stay together. Follow me here. She told People magazine they got married too quickly, which led to her husband filing for divorce less than 3 years later. They were separated for 10 months, but then reconciled and are now stronger than ever. Jenny says, quote, "We both had separate learning to do, and then coming back and sharing that growth was the fiber that connected us back together." Now, the first thing I think about is, what were the rules when they were separated for 10 months?
The rules are, there are no rules.
That's what I mean. So maybe, I don't know. What do you think?
No, I want to hear what you two, I'm not in a relationship. I wanted you two to speak, and then I had a question for y'all. So, Erica, how do you feel about this?
Well, have you ever done this?
No. I mean, when I was younger, I've had on and off girlfriends, things like that. But as far as like serious relationships go, I guess to each their own. But if I was separated from my wife for 10 months, I wonder what she'd be doing, wonder what I would be doing, and I don't know if we'd be doing those things together 10 months later. That's true. That's very true. I had a situation, a long-term relationship. We split, and then about 8 to 10 months later, it was proposed that maybe we get back together. And I realized that I'm very much like, when I'm done, I'm just done.
Wow.
Like, I can't go back there. So yeah, I think some people are like that, some people aren't.
Well, I think this is a happy ending to this story, but this is one of the things that scares me the most when it comes to falling in love and giving your heart to someone, because when you fall out of love, I've seen some of my strongest best friends do some of the dumbest things, and some of the strongest people go through the hardest depression when they fall out of the love. And I know I need to work on it, but that's the thing that keeps me back from like
scared to get your heart broken.
I'm absolutely terrified.
And it's terrible. But
it's a risk.
I think, it's not great to get it's terrible to get your heart broken, but it's a good thing to go through for future relationships. I feel like, what I mean? I always learn from the failures in my life, not saying having a bad relationship is a failure, but you get what I'm saying. You know what I mean?
You ain't gonna dodge heartbreak, honey. I don't know why you even trying.
Matrix.
Look at...
No.
That's when they gonna get you worse.
When you least expect it, buddy. BBL is live and coming out. Thanks. I'm glad we made you feel better. The star of the new horror movie, Ready or Not, dishes on another project she's working on, the next Bill and Ted movie. That's right. And a feud is brewing between Gwyneth Paltrow and Martha Stewart. Uh-oh, our Stephanie Jones tells us what's up next.
I haven't had my heart broken, but I've had my heart disappointed. If that makes any sense.
There's a difference. Then. You'll know when your heart broken.
I just remember being in the CFL, being in Canada, and this guy, he was one of the stars on the team, a really good player, and he was going through it with his wife, and like we're walking into meetings, and he's in a shouting match, and then his play was affected because he's like, man, I'm up arguing with this girl, and blah, blah, blah. His head was just in the wrong place, and I'm like, bro, you about to get cut. Like, so you know, you're not only gonna get the check anymore, but you're gonna go home and she's not even gonna be there for you. And that's just one of the things that just scares the mess out of me, seeing people go through falling
It's
out.
part of life, man.
Yeah.
It's part of life. Well, if you want that, it's part of life, I think, you know? But to each their own. I mean, if it worked for her getting back together and things like that, then it works for, I can't tell anybody how to do a relationship. You know what I mean? They got to do themselves. So if it works for them, I'm glad they reconciled. Especially, do they have kids together? I'm assuming. Yeah, so if they do have a kid or a daughter, I'm even happier they got back together.
I could see, for me, I went through a situation where it was over before it was over, which a lot of people do.
Yeah,
Like,
I've heard
before you actually, like, physically split, it's been just like you've
Yeah.
been living two different lives. So I do think a lot of people do it for financial reasons, but I also think people do it because it's like less of a shock. Like when you're splitting, just like overnight to be like, okay, it's over.
Yeah.
And you just move
So
on.
now we just said that there could be a kid involved. Did they fall back in love, or could they just be trying to make it work for the kid? Because you see that a lot of as well.
Or maybe they just figured the grass isn't greener.
Yeah, I've heard that too.
Do you think they messed around while they were separated?
Absolutely.
Definitely.
That could have been
Like
the whole
probably the
cause
first
of it.
night.
But do you think they talked about it like, listen, we're going to get back together, but you do not bring up the last 10 months? And the dude was like, sure.
And you can only have one or two bodies under your belt.
What?
Like you can only like one or two people in that.
You
10
never
months.
would have that conversation.
Oh no! All right, never mind.
No.
Yeah.
Welcome back to DBL. It's What Up Wednesday, and I've got all the juicy gossip that you lot are talking about. So let's head on over to our What Up world map, where our first stop is Los Angeles, where Lauren Hutton is the new brand ambassador for skincare company Strivectin, and the 75-year-old model is revealing her simple beauty tips: a good man and never giving up sex. I mean, here's what's up. I'll definitely be keeping that in mind. But as Lizzo says, why men great till they gotta be great? My point? A good man is like the space between Lauren's teeth. Yeah, that's right. There's not a lot there. Yeah. Our next stop is NYC, where long feuding. It's a long feud between lifestyle brand ambassadors, and it's been relit. So back in 2013, Martha Stewart started throwing some not so low-key shade at Gwyneth Paltrow and her Goop brand, saying if she were confident in her acting, she wouldn't be trying to be Martha Stewart. Now, fast forward to yesterday, where she doubled down, saying if they're a movie star or a hard-working woman like I am, I want them to succeed. Do you, Martha? Here's what's up. It sounds like the hard-working ex-felon is working hard to slam Goop. But to be honest, her comments are just... yeah. Let's cruise to our next stop, which is Santa Monica, where one of the youngest members of the Kardashian clan made her red carpet debut. How adorable is Stormi with her parents Kylie Jenner and Travis Scott at the premiere of Netflix Travis Scott Look Mommy I Can Fly. Here's what's up. I give this baby a red carpet pass because little Stormi is actually in the documentary. But I'm giving Eva Longoria and Gabrielle Union the side eye for trying to make babies on the red carpet the norm. I guess what's going on, guys? All the nannies in LA busy auditioning or what? I don't know. Anyway, that's been another edition of What Up Wednesday. And coming up on DBL, our co-host Tori Shulman chats with the star of the new horror film Ready or Not and tries to get some details on another big project, the next Bill and Ted movie, and it's all coming up next.
Hey guys, welcome back to Beauty Blast. I'm Jeray for the Slay, and before we get started, let's go ahead and connect and be friends, y'all. Follow me at Jeray for the Slay, J-A-R-A-Y, and let's go ahead and connect and make sure that we're all getting these beauty blasts together. Now, back to business. Today, we're talking some red light beauty tips, and with that being said, I want to bring up something that's a little controversial. Yes, you guys already know. using blush. Is it too much? Did I not do enough? I know, it's the age-old question of why am I even doing this? But there's actually a real reason, guys. So let's take it a step back and figure out why do we need blush in the first place. So, we use blush because it's actually going to help to reinvent some of the features that we wipe away when we're using a lot of these full coverage products. Full coverage foundation, even tinted moisturizers or concealers can sometimes take away from the color and enhancement in our skin that we're looking for. So, by using a blush, it's actually going to help to re-enhance those features that we're wiping away and make sure you have that bright and an awoken look, okay? So with that being said, I know you're probably wondering should we be applying this? And I got the answers for you, my friends. So I know everyone has seen that one lady at church that has those pancakes on her cheeks. I know, that's too much. You don't want to really be leaving the house with big circles on your face. So instead, I want you to follow my map here, okay? So we're gonna go ahead and start at our nostril, and then we're gonna go to the end of our eye. This is a nice little vertical line here. This area, we wanna keep completely free of any blush. You should actually be using this area for concealer or maybe for more of a brightening powder. Instead, we wanna go ahead and use the top area of our cheek for any of our blush application. So I like to keep any blush right back here to give more of a risen and awoken look. This also helps for more of a youthful finish as well. Now, if we take our blush too low, it's actually going to drag your face down and it might age you a little bit more, which is not what we want. The whole
Samara Weaving gets compared to Margot Robbie, but she doesn't mind because she's already making a name for herself in Hollywood. Earlier, co-host Tori Shulman talked with her about her latest role as a Scream Queen in today's Chatting with the Stars.
Samara Weaving, thank you so much for that lovely name. Welcome to Daily Blast Live. Now, it's no secret you and Margot Robbie are not only fellow Aussies, but long-lost separated twins. How often do you get approached as Margot, and do you ever just go with it?
Oh, totally. I think it's happened once in an airport, and she was a young girl, and she was so excited. I didn't have the heart to tell her it wasn't Marg's, so I just
I love
tried to copy her beautiful smile.
Well, you are starring in the upcoming Bill and Ted 3, which I'm flipping out about, which just wrapped production.
Yeah.
Is the movie anything like the first two, Samara, or is it something completely different?
No, it's the same writers, so it's definitely in the same vein.
Hollywood's poked fun at in-laws in the past, but Ready or Not takes that relationship to a new level.
At midnight, you have to play a game.
Why?
It's just something we do when someone new joins the family.
A game. What game? Hide and seek? Are we really gonna play that?
Did you have to draw on any real-life experiences with monster-in-laws to get ready for the role, or you just kind of Stanislavski-ing it?
Yeah, I was winging it. No. Yeah, I hope my in-laws don't try and murder me on my wedding day.
That's a good point.
Founder.
Do you prefer doing comedy or horror? Is there one that you prefer more than the other?
They're both fun.
How was that? Was it weird to be covered in blood, or did you absolutely love it?
It's quite uncomfortable. The only upside is that it's made up of corn syrup, so it tastes like caramel.
Really?
Quite yummy.
Things you didn't know with Samara Weaving. Thank you so much, Samara.
We'll be right back. I wasn't on camera, was I?
Promotional consideration is brought to you by
Hey guys! Today I am trying my very first Arby's Meat Mountain. Will it be as suspicious as the name sounds? Most likely. Let's give it a go. Now, here is my first viewing of said Meat Mountain, and it kind of looks creepy as hell. There's a lot of cheesy sauce going down the side. I don't know what you guys in America are thinking even inventing this. This is the ultimate carnivore's dream. I can see we've got some kind of crispy onions glued together in the bun with a delightful barbecue sauce. Not sure about that. Bacon, cheese. I think it's chicken, turkey. I think it's beef or pork. I don't know, but I can't really smell it because it smells so meaty. I'm not entirely sure how I feel about this. Okay, but for you guys, DBL Nation, I'm gonna give this a go. Okay, here we go. 3, 2, 1. Well, I got a mouthful of chicken and that tastes great. I think I need to try some of the more meat stuff. I just need to like get in there more. You know what? I actually really like it. That is actually really good. I'm actually not that much of a meat lover, but holy smokes.
Holy smokes.
This is an 8 out of 10. You know what? This is worth, I don't know how much it cost. I'm not gonna lie, I didn't buy this, but however much it was. The smell is a bit intense. It's very meat potent, but the taste is delicious. I think upon seeing this monstrosity of many meaty flaps, it's falling apart. Most British people would be very alarmed. I mean, when I saw it, I mean, what is this? The presentation, Arby's, I mean, you need to work on the presentation game because this isn't really selling it. Kind of looks like, it just looks a mess. But when you get past that and the smell of multiple meats, the taste is delicious.
Welcome back to DBL. Country music legend Tim McGraw is one proud dad. His daughter Gracie can sing, and it sounds like Barbra Streisand has some competition. Let's listen. Who would have guessed in a million years that two awesome singers have a daughter that could sing?
It is perplexing.
The stars have aligned.
Yes, but good for her. She seems like she's really happy singing with her dad. I had never heard of her before,
Me
so
neither.
she's not like a social media crazy person.
Well, now she might be. Now she might be because she's out there now.
I'm thinking as the head of A&R, how do we market her though? She's got a great voice, but how do you market her out there to the people?
She's their daughter. If you like Tim McGraw, you like Faith Hill, and you follow them, you're probably going to like her music too.
I'll take it. I'll take it.
And then you bring your dad to a couple shows, your mom to a couple shows, and you're on your way.
She's got star power on her own.
Yes, she does.
And she's got her parents too as fallback. All right, we'll be back tomorrow, same time, same place. Happy Hump Day, everybody.